That was terrific. Exactly what we needed. Okay. Gigi, please join us on stage. We're about to do the wrap-up. Thank you so much for staying with us till the end. If there are any startups in here, make sure you invest in them because they've got perseverance.
I'm going.
Which is great. Oh, you're going? That's right. Okay, good. So what we're going to do now is kind of do a bit of a wrap-up. But before I do that, I just wanted to say a huge thank you again to our amazing supporters and supporters and partners. Dallas Izemi from Mesmerize, you know who you are. You've really supported so much of what we've done, both at Edenbase and, of course, supporting Transformbase. Red Cloud, who are here today, incredible business with boldest ambition, Citi Private Bank, JP Morgan, Yways, Avialto. Please make sure you look up these companies, connect with them, because they've been amazingly supportive of the first time this event's been run. And also your feedback is incredibly important, which brings us to the feedback. Okay. So why are we here? Hold up the book. Show people the front of the book. That book is written by our partner, Daniel Dahl-Steinberg. And he wrote that book because even though the title is Unsupervised, which is all about the unsupervised nature of these amazing emerging technologies and who the top people are that control them, it's not doom and gloom. What he is about is ensuring that it's a call to action to understand these technologies so that we can take action and figure out what to do. Awareness and action is vital. So it's available in all good bookstores, of course, at Amazon. It's unsupervised. But actually, it is a call to arms and really what inspired us to do this.
Yeah, and tying that into our now what section, because Daniel urges us to take awareness and action, so we wanted to do that. We know, and we tested today with you, that we need to act together to shape these technologies to benefit all, society, businesses, education. What do we need to do for that?
So we've heard today that we need to feed into foundation models and make sure we remove the bias from them.
Yeah, we need to synchronize the pace of development, deployment, and adoption, because it's accelerating at an enormous pace.
We're going to create strategies for action and awareness, which is part of what Transformbase is about.
And we need to get more of you involved in this conversation. We need to get more people, give everyone the voice, because we all have the license to speak about shaping these technologies.
Okay. So if somebody asks you a question, what is Transformbase about? Well, it's obviously about a lot of things. But the thing that we want to become known for is the forum that you go to if you are investing in emerging technologies and want to figure out how to do that well, or if you're a business adopting emerging technology and want to figure out also how to do that. Those are the main two things. There's lots of other conferences that'll bring you all the creators of these technologies, and of course they're amazing. We want the practical implementations of it in business and investing in them.
And as you might remember, this morning we showed you that we created Transformbase at the intersection of emerging technology, knowledge, policy frameworks, and human behavior. We wanted to drive sharing knowledge, curating intentional discussions, and create actionable roadmaps together, which is what we want to shape with our community going forward.
And so now actually, Gigi is going to help with some of the thinking that you've fed into us.
Yeah. So as we mentioned, we started with setting intentions, and we want to do that going forward. We want you to leave here intentionally as well. And as part of this session, Eric and I wanted to wrap up. I'm going to do the wrap up of the deep dive, collaborate, and orchestrated serendipity sessions, just a few key takeaways from them. And Eric's going to wrap up what we heard from the main stage today. Remember, this is just a very brief summary. We are going to gather all this data, look at it with our human eyes, put it through AI, and come up with actionable roadmaps and reports. So in the deep dive sessions, we had investing in these technologies, and what we heard there is that it's all about the people and their ability to be agile, because technologies are moving at an exponential rate. And we need to be considering markets outside of the traditional ones, but we need governments in those markets to create a more trust-based regulatory establishment. And each technology will go through a hype before they can find realistic solutions for the challenges that we're facing. In the LLMs for Enterprise deep dive, we heard that enterprise cannot rest for a second because OpenAI is coming with a new feature every day. So governance is crucial as we're deploying these, and for us to make sure that whatever the AI LLMs are producing are true, unbiased, and accurate. We need to think about sustainability, which not a lot of enterprises are doing right now as they are rushing. Fortunately, we had a session on that. In our Collaborate sessions, we heard about innovation in healthcare and how we should be focusing not only on treatment, but also on preventative. So when we're thinking about innovation, we need to innovate for preventing anything that people might come across, and we need to empower people for self-care. You may not be surprised to hear that actually innovation in healthcare is more complex than it is in fintech because it's the end user's lives at stake. And then there's a disconnect of return on investment and VC's expectations and their timeline versus what the actual healthcare system is able to do. Some suggestions for that is maybe corporate VC is the right way to go for developing partnerships in the healthcare industry. And then we had a Collaborate session on immersive technologies. And here we discussed that it's more than just AR and VR. It's a lot more about our senses that are haptic, sonic, and we need to increase the understanding of it, going from this dystopian thing to a more inclusive technology that actually brings us together instead of getting us disconnected from each other. We heard some great use cases that augments people's knowledge, like in healthcare or in maintenance, and increases the quality and the speed of work. And yes, I am using a notebook because that's better for your brain to write by hand. In the Future of Work session, we heard that by 2040, a lot of us are going to be contractors or freelancers. Although that gives us a lot of autonomy and freedom, that actually creates the question of balancing work and life. We need to be reskilling because there is an obvious skill gap and it's going to be accelerating. 30% of the jobs will be displaced, so we need to build skills for the next generation and change our structures from like our work from just structures of work to more agile network-based structures. And we really need to make sure that we issue more autonomy and quality of life going forward. So we had a Collaborate session on benefits and burdens of AI on humanity. This was a very intense argument because people are equally scared and threatened and equally optimistic about the potential of AI and what it's doing to us. I guess there was a debate about, is it augmenting us, or is it hindering our evolution as human beings? I think people wanted to understand that it's the AI's impact on our ability to adapt and evolve as human beings. And there's a belief that the next generation, so the kids today, will have a better understanding and a better use of AI and these technologies, hopefully. I guess a lot of people agreed that regulation is vital, but that more of us should be in those conversations. It shouldn't be just the tech builders and the government who is making those decisions. Awareness is important. In the interactive debate in a similar topic, we also saw that this technology is accelerating, but it's going to be even faster going forward, so we need to brace ourselves for that. It's going to be a part of every job, and even though it's better at solving creative problems right now, it will never be able to replace what humans bring into the equation of empathy, connection, and relationships. And in terms of AI safety, I mean, as you all know, it's a risk. It's a risk to the financial system. It's a national threat. So we really need to be monitoring and evaluating and coming up with ways to balance innovation and regulation and have standards for use. These are just our initial takeaways from the day. As you can imagine, there's a lot more coming out. But Orchestrated Serendipity, thank you everyone for contributing to it. These are still in the gallery. Go, please cast your votes. Do you see these as threats or opportunities? What are the challenges you want us to focus on, and what are your takeaways and actions and questions going forward? I'd like to invite Eric back for the wrap up from the main stage.
Thank you, Gigi, fantastic. Don't forget, you'll get this output as well. So, what did we learn from the main stage? Wow, so many things. I actually can't believe what I've written down here. Okay, so firstly, the last panel, let's deal with that one. Lack of sustainability is not an option. That's kind of what we knew, but especially at scale. I also learned there's no need to pre-rinse with Finish. That's pretty cool. But doing so means that we save millions of gallons, which is terrific. You know, that's a great example. From Stan, I learned that you can fire your board and point an ocean, a river, or a mountain, and then rehire them, making sure that they involve that river or mountain in the decision-making process. What a fantastic concept. Only Stan could come up with something like that. It was amazing. We heard from Jay Steinbeck and Jana Pache on the tokenizations about the huge potential value that tokenization could unlock, both in creating prosperity and, actually trade globally. It was really fascinating about that. We heard from Alberta University's AI Innovation Fund that collaboration is key, and they want to establish the strongest connections, and thank them very much for coming here to be with us today. The big data, big responsibility. It's essential to have the rights to your training data. That was fantastic. The Rewriting Rights panel with Nicola, the lawyer from WPP, and Mike Weber, the producer. The problems of AI creation are starting to be understood and solved, and there are legal frameworks that you can use to help with that. That's so important. I think I'll finish. I don't normally finish with a minister, but I'm going to finish with a minister because, wow, what a minister, right? That was an amazing presentation. Other than being responsible for the death of his digital cat, which was an interesting thing, but it shows us he's involved, right, in the topic. The thing that I really, my favorite takeaway is that he truly believes that the future belongs to entrepreneurs and those that invest in them. And I could not echo that stronger than I feel about that statement. So that's really my reflection on what happened on the main stage. As I said, that was quite short and designed really to provoke the thinking for the working groups and the round tables that you joined.
Speaking of...
Oh, thank you.
Yes, as we mentioned, we just started Transform Base today. It's the beginning, and we want to shape it with our community. We want to continue with reports, recommendations, working groups, roundtables, and other Transform-based events. We will be reaching out to you, so you'll hear it from us, and please feed into that how you want to be involved, because we want all of you to get involved.
I think that's kind of it, is it? Is there anything else we should ask? Oh, yes. Please join us for a drink.
Oh, yes.
Hey. Please give yourselves a big hand. Thank you. Thank you, Gigi.
Thank you.
Final word is, we have to leave here in about 5 minutes because this is being turned around immediately. So please leave immediately and head up to the mezzanine for the drinks. Thank you.